louder, he could say, hey, he looks like PETA from the Hunger Games. He looks exactly like Carson's a good man. So ready, say, I am a child of God. Well, come on, so as I was thinking about this message and titling it, I began to really think about like stories from my childhood and stories from me being very young. I'm still kind of a child, I'm like 19. Like, I know some of y'all think like once you're 18, you're like a real adult. You're not. Like things happen, you're like, I have to go to the doctor now. By myself. I went to the doctor and they're like, so what's your health insurance? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know I needed insurance. I've always come here, it's been free. But, so I was thinking about stories from my childhood, and one of the first stories I remember, I was 3 years old, and it was actually like kind of the first time I ever really got in trouble that I can remember. So the first time I ever did anything bad, I was 3, and we lived in a duplex in Spanaway. Jason, do you remember the duplex? My little brother's here. Oh, I forgot to shout out my little brother. That's Jason. He's right there. He's one with the cool hair. Jason is by far my best friend in the world. He's like 2 years younger than me. We used to fight all the time, and now we're super close. He lives like 6 hours away in Edenville. That's fun. It's not accurate. It's okay. He's pretty cool though. He's a pretty good guy. But I remember living in this duplex. I think it might have been right before Jason was born, actually. No? No, Jason's shaking his head. Jason's my fact check for tonight. If you think anything's wrong, talk to Jason. He'll take all of the emails. It's jasongray@gmail.com. That's not true. That's not factual. I don't know. But, so Jason was born at the time. He was just a little baby. And I remember I never drank soda at this point in my life. Some of you are like, that's valid, John. 3-year-olds shouldn't be given soda by good parents. Well, luckily I had good parents that didn't give me soda. But my mom always had Diet Coke in our fridge. And I remember seeing it and kind of like wondering about it. Emma said, oh, because she loves Diet Coke. It's kind of ridiculous. Diet Coke is not good. It's okay. If you drink Diet Coke, there'll be an altar call after service for you right here. We still love you. I'm just joking. It's okay. Don't get mad at me. I see some of you. Some of you just went from like. But I remember going to my mom and saying, hey mom, what are you drinking right now? And she's like, well, John, she actually calls me Jonathan. She's like, hey Jonathan, this is Diet Coke. Well, Mom, that looks good. Can I have some? She goes, no, you're too young. I'm like, well, what do you mean I'm too young? Like, why can't I have Diet Coke? I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. I'm 3 years old. She's like, nope, you're too young. You can't have it yet. So me, being me and very curious, I was like, you know what? No matter what, I'm going to find a way to drink some Diet Coke. I don't care if my mom knows. I don't care if my dad knows. Great. Well, being 3 years old, I didn't have many opportunities to leave my house and go get Diet Coke, so naturally what I had to do is steal it from my mom. So I wait one day for my mom to leave me alone in the room, and which is kind of funny now because I realized I was like, wow, you shouldn't leave 3-year-olds alone in the room, but it's fine. As an adult, things you remember about your childhood. And I go and I like run as fast as my little legs carry me. I was like this tall and tiny. Yes, at one point I was tiny. I know it's hard to believe now because I'm cut like large, but it's okay. So I'm like this tall and I like run over the fridge as fast. I open it up and I grab the 2-liter of Diet Coke, and it's so funny now because like Diet Coke's like this big. But at the time, I'm this tall. So I'm like carrying the Diet Coke like this. And I knew that there was a spot that I wouldn't get caught drinking it. It was behind my couch and between my couch and the wall. There's like a foot gap that I could hide in. So I shut the fridge door. I get back there and I'm kind of like I was during worship. I sweat a lot. It's fine. And I get behind the couch and I open up the Diet Coke and I take a drink of it. And instantly I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this stuff? I'd never had caffeine before, because when you're 3, you shouldn't have caffeine. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? Is this grace? Like, ah! So I'm like freaking out and I drink it and I did the like little kid drink where like the bottle, you know, like it's got the ring and you put your mouth like, oh yeah, right? So it's like super gross. I backwash a ton and I screw the lid back on and I run back to the fridge like, and I shut the fridge with the Diet Coke in there, and I go back to the couch and I pretend like nothing happened. Got away with it. Well, what occurred is I began to get a little addicted to the caffeine in Coca-Cola. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm 3 years old, first time caffeine's in my body. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need more. Like, I just need more caffeine. Like, I didn't even know what caffeine was. So I'm like, I just need more Diet Coke. I don't know why I want it so bad. Like, I don't know. So every single day I would go sneak Diet Coke. This happened for like a week and a half. It's nuts. And then one day, my mom just would not leave me alone in the room. I don't know why. She was like, hey, come with me everywhere, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need this Diet Coke so bad. I'll do anything. So I wait till my mom gets a call from my grand. She turns around, and at this point, I'm like, my sneaking abilities are that of a ninja. So I think that I can make this happen. So again, I sprint to the fridge as fast as my little legs will carry me. I grab the Diet Coke, and I forgot to shut the fridge. And I run away to behind the couch. And my mom turns around, and she notices that the fridge is open, that I'm not around, and that the Diet Coke is now gone. My mom, being a smart woman, goes, Jonathan, where are you at? And I heard like that tone, you know the mom tone? Every mom has it, they switch, and you're like, oh no. Great, so he's like, Jonathan, where are you at? I'm like, I don't know. I'm behind the couch. She's like, where's my Diet Coke? I don't, what's Diet Coke? Where would that be at? I don't know, Mom, that's weird that you lost it. It's pretty silly of you to misplace things. You're an adult, and I'm a 3-year-old. Why are you asking me? And so I end up like lying to her, and I'm like, I don't know where it's at. And then my mom hears the Diet Coke open, and at the time I didn't know how to just open a like soda, like, you know how you go like, you're in class, and you open it, it's like, no, I just went for it, and it goes, like, so loud. I've never heard anything that loud in my life. I'm sitting there in terror, like, ah, my mom's gonna find me, mom's gonna find me. And I'm like sitting there, like, staring at the bottle of Coke, and I'm like hoping it'll just disappear. And my mom turns, and she just, like, looks behind the couch, and she goes, what are you doing? Her voice changed, just like, what are you doing? Nothing. She goes, are you drinking my Diet Coke? No. But she can see like the stains from the Diet Coke on my t-shirt. It's like dripping all down because I didn't know how to drink things out of a bottle. And I'm like, no. And she goes, Jonathan, you're lying to me. No, I'm not. Jonathan, why are you lying to me? My mom, like, her biggest pet peeve in the world is getting lied to. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm pretty sure that if I just did some like horrendous crime, but I was like, hey Mom, I did it, she'd be like, okay, it's fine, I still love you. But if I was like, if I took a piece of gum out of the drawer, and I'm like, hey Mom, I didn't do it, she'd be like, you're ridiculous and you're dead to me. So it's like super funny, and she's like, look, she begins to like kind of get mad, and she's like, go to your room right now. You lied to me, you stole from me, go to your room, we'll talk about this later. Being a smart person, didn't want to just like scream at a 3-year-old because I didn't really know what was going on. Sorry, I'm also large, I'm moving a lot, breathing heavy. I mean, come on, anyone get it? So you don't get it, so you don't understand. So I can see you, you don't understand. Okay, so that's bad lungs, he gets it. And I go to my room and I'm just sobbing. I've never cried this hard in my entire life. Granted, it's only been 3 years at this time. But I'm just like incoherent, like, I'm sorry. And my mom every time before she went to work would stop in and say, I love you. And my dad would come in with her. My dad worked days, my mom worked nights. So what I didn't notice in the midst of me going, my mom came in and was like, hey Jonathan. Oh, okay. Well, I love you, buddy. And my dad was like, I love you, buddy. And left. So what happened is about a couple hours later, I realized that my mom had left, and I thought that she hadn't come in to say I love you. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? I stole Diet Coke, and now my mom doesn't love me. I'm like 3 guys. I don't know why this all happened, but I think it was for this moment right now. And I'm like crying because my mom doesn't love me, and my dad's out in the living room, and he didn't say I love you, so he must not either because I'm such a bad kid because I stole Diet Coke. And then we babysat this kid named Kyle O'Brien, not called, you name a kid, you don't call it, but named Kyle O'Brien, and he was about 2 years older than me, so that would make him 5. And me seeing that he was a big kid and much wiser than I am, I said, Kyle, what should I do? And I explained the situation. And I'm like, Kyle, I think my parents don't love me anymore. And he goes, you should run away. Like, you just need to get out of here. You need to run. Like, if your parents don't love you, you deserve to be loved. Go run away. And I'm like, yeah, Kyle. Yeah, I'll run away. Yeah. Hey, Kyle.